Okay. Now we just gotta make sure. Okay, it is working. Oh my god, it's been a while. Let me turn on some music. I had to like find a playlist and like it was chaotic, and hopefully you can't hear the fan. It's hot in here. So, but it's freezing outside. So, here we are. New place. I just got these. So exciting. And now we're just chilling and testing if this Wi-Fi actually will keep up with streaming because we're in a new place. So that's like so crazy. But I had been talking about with my inner circle, like trying to like come back at streaming and stuff. And yeah, okay, I feel like this music's really loud in my ear. So yeah, we're just gonna chill and see like what goes on because happy Halloween. But yeah, so that's what we're doing. So yeah, just kind of getting into the swang again, which is nice. And like I said, I bought some posters. You can see my textbooks. I just scared the cat, so I got a cat. Her name is Sage. She's sleeping though, so we'll let her be. But yeah, so like that's what we're doing. Kind of crazy. Okay, this fan's actually annoying me now. But yeah, so we're just chilling. I don't really know. I'm trying to find games and like things to play, and I don't know. I play a lot of Sims now, which is fun. I'm addicted. But it's a lot of school, a lot of listening to music, a lot of Sims, a lot of YouTube videos. But yeah, so we're getting into the swing of things again, which is exciting. Yeah, it's weird. My cat's watching the birds now at the window. But yeah, so I don't know. We'll see how this goes. I'd like done a comeback not that long ago, and then like I moved. So that was like a whole thing, and then everything got kind of backlogged, and yeah, so here we are. Yeah, I'm excited. I just got new headphones, like I said, and they're interesting. They're different than my old ones. I've had the same headset, I think since I started streaming, and it was time for a new one because they were bad. Sorry, Corsair, they sucked. But yeah, so what else is new? Oh, my computer, I just found this out today too, is 3 years old. So a little backstory on that is we played, okay, I think it was 2021. We were trying to play, I'd like started streaming near or in October, and pretty much I had wanted to play horror games for Halloween, and what ended up happening was I was playing on a laptop, triggered. I didn't have a desktop, and it kept crashing. So shout out to the people who were there when it kept crashing, because that was something else. Like that was a choice. But yeah, it was like black screening, and and so we were finally like, okay, like we'll play something else because other things had run. But uh oh my gosh, Twitch, please. Uh so anyway, we were trying to play Amnesia Rebirth, which is the new what you call it? Well, it's not the newest anymore. The second newest Amnesia, and pretty much finally we got this PC and it was Halloween and everything worked out, and then we tried to play the game and then it didn't work because I was an idiot and I didn't know how these things worked. So yeah, that's kind of like where we were. Twitch, okay, let's roll it back a little bit. I also don't know how to use anything on Twitch anymore. So I went through and I was like trying to learn the setup. I don't know if anyone's ever showed you like the Twitch setup. It's changed a lot. So annoyingly so, I don't know how to use anything. So awkwardly, we're just gonna have to sit with this in the chat until I remember how to get rid of it, because I don't remember how to get rid of it. So rip. Oh no, are we dropping frames? Oh, maybe we're not. I'm not sure. Anyway, yeah, they even since, oh my gosh, what was it? Like the comeback one I was telling you about, it like completely changed the layout, which is kind of insane. Can I? I need to remember how to do this. It's like a whole new process, and we just keep rolling with it, which is so exciting. What a pain, honestly. I don't remember anything. It's okay. It's okay. We'll remember eventually. But yeah, so we're trying to remember things. We got this. Like, I can't even tell you how many things are in the settings that have changed. Like, good to see you grew, but I don't know how to use anything. So, kinda awk. Anyway, so we learn in the ropes again. Why can't I do anything? I need like a Twitch tutorial, because it's like when someone hands you like a Nintendo controller after you just played with, like, what is it, Xbox or whatever the one that's different is. That's what it feels like. It feels like I don't know what's going on. It's okay though. Like, you know what I mean? So. Oh. Okay. Anyway, adjusting in my chair. It now recommends changes and everything to you. That's so crazy to me. Anyway, I just screwed up and like messed up my layout, so I need to go back and like I can't even see chat. Okay. Ugh. What a start. But yeah, so that's all that's new. I hope you can hear the music and everything. Sorry, cat. But like, we're chilling. That's it. I mean, I was a little nervous because the Wi-Fi is kind of bad here. So hopefully when I go back and watch it, it'll be okay. Because if not, I don't know what to do. And also, something I noticed, we were kind of talking about this, is sometimes when my VOD would like, because I download my VOD to get like clips. Okay, I don't want to hear this person talking in this song. When I would go and get my VODs, my audio would cut out. And we're not sure if it's still a problem or not. So that's cool. Anyway, back to trying to learn how to use Twitch. Because it's actually crazy. Like, let me look. Someone should like, I know there's like tutorials on Twitch too now, and like I don't want to watch them. Like in the slightest. Sorry, I just got an email. But yeah, so yes, we know that's there. Okay, can I see chat on Twitch now? Thanks. Oh, there we go. I brought it back. Let's go. There's so many things. Oh my goodness. Oh, this is funny. I didn't know that you could add this to your stream. Okay, so I don't know if a lot of people know this, but like there's like a, like there's the, as I was saying, the Twitch thing got all changed. So you can add these things to your layout, and like you can add unban requests and everything, which is just funny. I when I was streaming, like originally, never knew that unban requests were a thing, and my mods would tell me they were sometimes really funny, and it makes me really upset that I never knew they existed. Like, I never saw any of them, and I don't know if you can actually go back and see them. So, yeah. Okay. Still need to get this to work. I think we're doing okay though. Oh, also, I'm running this on Streamlabs, but I am trying to move to OBS. Still trying to do that, and everybody, like literally when we first started streaming, was like, yeah, like move to OBS, it'll be like the best, whatever. Well, here we are. So still on Streamlabs. But yeah, so okay. I didn't help myself. I just made myself more confused. Shocker. But yeah, so I'll make the move eventually. Honestly, why can't I find what I need to find? Twitch, you've made this like the most complicated thing in the world. Or I'm old. Both are likely. So, you know. I don't know. I'm trying to think of like games to play, or like in the future, obviously. I'm still busy with school, and like that's always gonna come first, and I'm not making a schedule, but I wanted to play some games. Like I know like the new Mario game, I haven't seen anything about it, so if it's bad, sorry, I want to play it, but that came out. I've been wanting to play Animal Crossing again, even though I know there's nothing crazy about Animal Crossing. But yeah, so I don't know. The thing is like a lot of newer games don't interest me right now. I haven't found anything yet. We'll see. Like I have some dumb little games, but like I don't know. We'll see. We'll just buy a bunch of indie games and like I don't know. Ramble as I am now. Also, I just realized I'm hungry. Like really hungry. But yeah, so I don't know. Like we used to play Mario all the time. And like that was really fun and everyone really loved it. So I don't know. Maybe we could do that. We'll see. We'll see. I have to remember how to set up the Nintendo to my computer. I have my Elgato. I don't know if I have all the cords for it. So that's the only problem. Would I like him to? Is that the question? Yeah, so okay. So I think it would be really nice if he did go to Red Bull again, but I'm not really sure where things lie. Ideally, if Danny moved to Red Bull, Checo would probably retire and or move to another team, but I don't really see that happening. I would say all things aside, I love Daniel Ricciardo as a driver, but Red Bull makes decisions and Checo hasn't been the greatest. Let's just leave it at that. So I do see it possibly happening. Also, thanks for the follow. Welcome to this chaos. But yeah, so I don't know. I feel like a lot of people really want him to move there. You know? So I wouldn't be mad. And you would have a new Red Bull fan because I'm not really a Red Bull fan per se. Like, which I know sounds bad, but you know, I think also marketing wise, me and my boyfriend talk about this a lot, is that like Danny is marketable. Checo and Max are not marketable together. I agree. I also agree with that statement. I don't know if I like necessarily like, I don't know. I agree Christian rubs me the wrong way. I also don't like the fact that like, this is gonna sound bad. I'm not bashing Checo. I'm really not. But I kind of am. Like, you have to at some point make a decision in your life that it's time to stop. Some people stop in their prime. Some people don't, and they fall off. And I think that's the problem. Sometimes I think the problem is that a lot of drivers who fall off get kept for too long. Also, I know everybody loves Danny. Agreed. I also, yeah, that's the other side of it. It's a money thing. And I think it's the same thing like when Danny left McLaren or whatever and was paid a ton of money. I mean, screw it. I'm leaving too. Like, I'm not gonna fight it. So how much does Checo actually make? Like, is he one of the top? I have no idea. I really don't. I remember there's a video that came out. Like, I know, obviously, like, Max and Lewis and, like, they're up there. Like, don't get me wrong. I know they are. But, I don't know. Also, for how much money Red Bull would have to pay to end his contract, I don't know. We could see this go either way, I think. So crazy. I will say, sorry, I'm Checo? Home race. Be so for real right now. Be so for real right now. Sorry. Maybe I'm a hater. I don't know. But like, there's something about it. Yeah, all the time. That was my favorite thing we've seen. It was on Twitter and everywhere. Is the one where it's like, oh, they're winning the constructors and the deconstructor constructors championship or whatever. It's so funny. Like, and that brings into the question of, is paying Checo worth that money at that point because of how much they have to like rebuild the car? That's an interesting one. How do you feel about Sargent? Because I'll be real with you. Here's my opinion. I think he needs time. I was gonna say he's not good yet. Yeah. So he needs like time, which I think, I don't know. Yeah, I don't think it's about that either. I don't think what would make them keep him is that, which sounds weird, but I think there's something, like he's good at some things, but he needs a lot of improvement to stay. Which, interestingly enough, like what is the announcement today? Did it happen? I know there's something that's being announced. Like, does anybody know what it is? Because like I would love to know. Can it come out now? Because I was speculating something, but now I don't know. Oh. Also, yeah. Okay, wait a second. Albon? Come on. What a season. Like, didn't really think he was gonna do that well. No offense. I don't think he's a bad driver at all. Just didn't expect it. One of those drivers where I was like, okay. Especially in the Williams. So. Anyway, tell me. Yeah. Yeah. This is fine. Yeah, okay. There will be an announcement later today. What's the announcement? Is it a Mercedes thing? Oh, it is. Never mind. Not that I don't like Mercedes, but it's nothing crazy, so whatever. Oh, okay. Never mind. It's not important. No, their chief technical officer departed the team. Yeah. Nothing important. Hamilton's gonna retire when he's like 85. No offense. I don't know. I'd be really curious to see when a lot of those older drivers retire. Because I really was expecting it sooner. Yeah, I know. I was kidding. But you know what I mean? I really expected to see someone retire. Who knows? Maybe we will see someone retire. It's gonna be someone like unexpected. That's for sure. Hey, is this real? I want to know. Hold on. I have to go find the actual F1 Twitter before I just start spewing BS. Okay, it's not official. F1 Twitter be playing me. Okay. I'm really sorry if you like Lando. I am. I think he had potential. He had his opportunity. And I think that he needs to do better. And I also don't like... Oh, yes. Also, maybe Fernando. Okay, sorry. I won't bash Lando. I'm not going to bash Lando. I just wish that he had a win. Because I think, like... Okay, so when I first got into F1, I thought he was, like, the younger driver that was gonna, like, be on the top. And on the other side, didn't think George Russell was going to be at Mercedes, so... And that's the other side of it. Jeez, I am so hungry. Sorry. So that's the other side of it too, is like the whole domination for how long it's been, and like there's no opportunity. That's why like some of these races have become interesting, is because some other people have done something. Like kind of like Albon in practice. I know that's not the race, but you know what I mean? He's placing up with the Red Bulls, and it's like, okay. Like if we could see that. But yeah, I don't... This season's been kind of an interesting one. Like, I don't want to say it's boring, but it's repetitive. I feel like a lot of the same things are happening. Yes. 100%. I always think it's really weird how they I don't know what you prefer to watch. Oh no, I'm not eating yet. I don't even know what I'm gonna have for lunch. But yeah, I don't know. I watch the international, like I watch on F1 TV. We watch the international one because I can't stand the other one. But yeah. No hate or anything. Talks too much. Got a real case of the talking too much. But yeah. Back to my tangent. Twitch, you overwhelm me. I don't know. I'm kind of... Back to the F1 thing, though. I'm kind of ready for, like, next season. I don't know. Towards the end of the season, I get bored. If something interesting would happen, like, immediately... Like, if there's, like, some crazy, like, silly season stuff, we're vibing. Like, we're good. But, like... Everything is just the same again. Yeah. We're gonna see the exact same thing until whenever. No, I don't think... Have they posted it? I don't remember. But yeah, so we're gonna see the same thing next year. Hopefully not. I don't know. We'll see. All in all, you can't take away the fact that whoever... Jesus, my stomach. Whoever has a good car has a good car. And unfortunately, in this era, just means complete domination. Well, yeah. We need starts like Mexico, but more chaotic, but safely chaotic. But yeah, so maybe we'll have a new season and someone will have a dominant car. It ain't gonna be the Haas. Oh my gosh. This past race, the Haas, you know what gets me with the Haas every time? Speaking of Mazepin, the Haas literally like snapping like a piece of paper or like tearing like a piece of paper or whatever. Like every time. Also, yeah, Aston Martin really fell off, unfortunately. So, because I'll be honest with you, an Alonso championship, I'd take it. But unfortunately, I don't think that's gonna happen. We'll see, right? Like, just don't understand why it falls apart. It's like if you touch it, it's gonna fall over. It's like a Paper Mario character. It's literally a piece of paper. I don't understand. So, we'll see. I don't know. It was interesting. We saw at the beginning of this year. That's also true. But we saw at the beginning of this year, Aston was doing well. I really thought we were going to see more out of the Mercedes, but that's a whole thing in itself. And of course, Red Bull was pretty good, so. But other than that, like, kind of unimpressed. I don't know. It's been weird. So. Yeah, I think a lot of people do too. I think that's part of the problem, is that there's not a fight, which, like, sometimes I have to reel it back, because, like, I'll be like, oh my god, like, this is boring, Max is winning again, like, oh my god. But at the same time, like, whoever's dominating, it becomes annoying. If there's a fight with that, if we have three teams fighting for that first place versus a singular person pulling away, you know what I mean? So that's the thing. Like, when there's a fight, it's fun. When there's actual competition, there's fun. It's still sport. It kind of feels like, which, I mean, look, you can't take away the fact that the Red Bull and, like, all that is, like it's technically a very good car. Like, if another team had pulled that car out of their ass, sorry, like, you know what I mean? Impressive. Like, you can't take that away. Like, as a piece of engineering, you cannot take that away. But I want someone else to fight with that car, because that would be cool. Like, we have two, like, top tier cars, like, going against each other. Is it gonna happen? I don't know. Mercedes thinks so, but, you know. Not to be a hater, but I don't hate Mercedes either. Well, and that's the thing too, is, like, I think that's why so many people expect Checo to leave, is because he's, as dumb as it is to compare the two, like, I don't know, like, take away the drivers, take away the driver mistakes, it's the same car. Like, it should be able to perform at the same level. I mean, I at the beginning of this season was very much like a Mercedes. Who was it? Mercedes and like, okay, I like Daniel. So as of now, I guess that's my favorite driver now that he's on the grid. But before that, I'm gonna be honest, which is awful, because, like, obviously when Danny was at McLaren, like, McLaren fan, no problem. Like, I mean, Ferrari, I like Charles. I'm a Ferrari fan, I guess. But, like, Ferrari probably is the top answer for team, and Danny for driver, Danny and Charles probably. But it's unfortunate because I really don't have an opinion. Yeah, I would agree. And that's the thing too, is, like, I mean, even Danny, like, Danny was at McLaren, now Danny was a Red Bull reserve, now Danny's at AlphaTauri, but AlphaTauri's changing to something else that we don't know what it is yet, so that's going to be a whole thing in itself. Like, it's just too much. And that's why you follow a driver and you buy their merch instead, and not the team merch. Unless you have your heart set on the team. I think they'll keep Yuki for at least another year, but again, I think that depends on how the moves go. And that's the thing. I think it'll depend on how things play out over the next year. No, you're good. Don't worry about it. This is just a test stream anyway. I'm good. I hope you're good too. Yeah, I'll be on a bit more, so don't worry about it. But yeah, so Yuki's a choice. I don't know. We'll see. Are you impressed by Yuki? That's the real question. How do other people feel about Yuki? Because when DeVries was there, I think he was like, okay. I think he could do better, but I think he does better with a experienced teammate, if that makes sense. Like, he looks better when, like, Danny did really well in the race. Yuki should have done really well. How do you feel about Lance Stroll? Yeah? We got an opinion? I call him the brick wall. Sorry. I think he's a good driver too. I just think that this season he seems disinterested. Does that make sense? Maybe not disinterested, but like detached from the sport. I don't know why I got mad at you for that, but Automod got mad at you for that. That's a whole thing in itself. Like, drivers paying to be there, drivers' dads being there, being in charge of teams. Like, that's a whole thing in itself. Not to say that everyone in this sport doesn't have money, because they obviously do. Unless I'm missing somebody who, like, is broke. Like, that's a whole aspect of the sport that just gets me. I don't know. I really don't know. So if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But most of the people in this sport. Okay, that's not to say now. Like, being paid now. I wouldn't say, like, they're past, I guess. Because, like, I know, like, they have stories from that. Like, their families support their racing. Yeah, I know that's it. But, like, at this current moment, you know? Well, you know, with the FIA making it £1,000 or whatever for, what was it, like, fines or something? Oh, not 1,000, 1,000,000. Can sell one of their watches, for sure. But yeah, so, I don't know. It's like, oh my god, the Vegas GP that's coming up. Like, girl, why? Why? Like, the strip is expensive to begin with. So, like, let's make it more expensive. See, that's my point, though. Like, when they're getting to the point where they have to get their super license and they have to, like, pay, and they're getting towards F1, like, they are definitely, like, money making at that point. So, it's a money sport. Okay, the strip is destroyed. I'm almost certain it's destroyed. Like, it's I don't how long are they racing there? Is it a couple years? It has to be a couple years. They wouldn't just do this for a singular year. But, like, it's too much. I agree. It's way too much. Yeah, I think it's a few years. But, like, can you imagine? Like, oh my god. I think they were talking to Sargent, and they were like, where would you like to see another US GP? Not that we need one. And he was like, New York City. Have you been to New York? Have you been to New York? Like, hello? Worst traffic in the world. Let's make it worse. Let's just rip the whole city apart. So, How do you feel about Miami? I don't like Miami. It's because whenever anybody talks about the US, they say New York City, Dallas or Houston, Tampa or Miami, and Los Angeles or San Diego. That is the only answers, I think. And maybe like Seattle, Washington, like The fake marina. Yeah, I don't know. Not to like bash on it, but it just looks trashy, especially when like Monaco is on there on the calendar and you're like, oh, okay, like that's a yacht. Like probably spa. Probably. In terms of like nostalgia, I would love to go to Monaco, but not necessarily for the race. I think I would like to go for the history of racing. But if I had to go watch one, I think Spa. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, or Montreal. I mean, that one's a cool one, I think, too. Not super far. Closer to the United States. But I don't know. If I had the opportunity to go to any, I would go. That being said. Also true. Also, like, I mean, I've never been to Belgium or to Canada, so why not, right? They're fun ones. I think that would be fun too. The only thing that turns me away from going to Suzuka is how far away it is. If you were in the area, I think it could be a lot of fun. That being said, that one's long for me. That one is probably one of the ones where like I'm not sure I could handle being on a plane that long. That being said, geez, I feel like a lot of them oh my god, I haven't talked in so long. A lot of them are like far, aren't they? Like they're long flights. I mean, I haven't looked, but yeah, that's the thing. Like I feel like, I mean, don't get me wrong though. Like think about traveling from like Canada to Mexico. I mean, it is pretty far. Oh my gosh. That streamer voice is gone. That talking is gone. Used to do it all the time and now I don't talk to anybody. But yeah, I mean, if you think about going like north to, I don't know, to Florida, I mean, it is far. I guess it's not as far. Like on a plane, it's not far. But in a car, it's far. So I don't know. How long does it take to get to Belgium? Now I gotta look it up. Oh, well, that too, obviously. It's gotta be at least like 15 hours. I guess it depends on if you're near, like, this is also the thing that comes into play. If you don't live near an international airport or you have to make stops, that's the thing. No, I'm not in Hawaii. But I think it depends on where you are relative to the airport and if you have to take 1 or 2 stops. Or 3. So probably closer to 8, but if you're talking about layovers, but that's a whole story in itself. Like you could get to the airport and then I've flown a few times, so nothing crazy. and a lot when I was younger, so I don't remember a lot of it. The longer the flight, the better. So you're a traveler, huh? Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's what I think has always terrified me, is like, you see all those like movies with like the terrible takeoffs and stuff. Why live through that for a short trip? I mean, I guess so. I've never understood the concept of like flying for really short periods of time. And I mean like short. Like, you know those like celebrities that take those private jets for like 2 minutes? Not really, but you know what I mean? That gets me. For sure. Like why do that? What's the point? Why waste your time? Bad for the environment too. But yeah, I just don't get it. How? Why? I keep getting these F1 troll accounts on Twitter, and the funniest things are popping up, and I just can't handle it. So interesting. Bruh. I just saw one. Like, as we were talking about it, that was like Logan Sargent signed for 2024 or something, or till 2025. And I was like, y'all really had to do that to me. It's the fact, okay, I guess it's not F1 Twitter anymore, but it's the fact that it's verification is all messed up, and you can put that little, like, people put that fake check mark, and I'm like, stop, please, I'm too dumb. Like, I'm too stupid to look. And then I look and I'm like, okay. I just wasn't ready for it. Like, it scared me, and then I was like, oh. And then you get the really stupid ones. It's like Helmut Marko signed, like, replacing Perez, and you're like, ah, yeah, okay, you're a fake account. That's funny. Ha ha ha. But yeah. Yeah, exactly. Like, oh, wait a second. So I have to check on Instagram. Like, now I gotta know what's going on. We're all in that, literally. The minute you look at F1 stuff, forget about it. There's been a lot of F2 announcements lately, which I don't follow too heavily, but these are interesting to see as I'm looking at people's stuff on, like, team stuff on Instagram. Well, especially with, like, okay, the whole concept was it to be feeder series, and, like, they don't feed into F1 anymore because a lot of the people just stay, which sucks for those people. Like, they have the same dreams that the current drivers have, and, like, they can't reach it because all the drivers stay. And don't get me started on Formula E, because I cannot watch that. I don't know how people watch that. I tried to get into it. They sound like hair dryers. I don't know how people listen to it. I will say, I get really into, I haven't looked at the Formula E car in a while. Oh, okay. So it's like, okay. Yeah, it's pretty cool looking. One of my favorite racings to watch is, like, well, I don't watch the series as much as I would love to, is World Endurance. I love watching Le Mans and the hypercars, and oh, that's my favorite thing. Like, that is what I look forward to in the summer. That's where a lot of drivers end up, driving in Le Mans on the teams and stuff when they can't get a seat. Oh, Le Mans was so fun this year. Like, so fun to watch. I always hate falling asleep during that, though. Always do. I get mad at myself for falling asleep. Because I just want to watch the whole thing. Oh, I could fall asleep to an F1 race. I try not to. I really try not to. Like, yeah, also the soothing sounds of the engine aren't so soothing probably in real life. I've never been to an F1 race. I'm just gonna assume. so the worst one is Suzuka. I don't know what time zone you're in, but the worst one is Suzuka in Australia. I cannot believe. I think what Australia's the early one, right? Oh my god, yes. Like, or like when quali is that late, like when it's a late quali or something, like forget it. Like, it's not happening. I'm not waking up. I miss those races all the time. Yep, I miss those races. I will watch the highlights in the morning. Like, by the time I get on my phone or my computer in the morning, that I've already seen who's won the race or whatever, or who's P1, P2, P3. Yeah, so. But yeah. So. Can't do those races, man. That's too much for me. Ain't no way. The highlights and the replays? Yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, no, I definitely. It's crazy too, cause like, I always forget that like the US GPs are so like late, or like Mexico. I'm like, why is the race not on at 7 a.m.? Like, what's going on? And then my day's all messed up. Also, yeah, I went back and watched some of the older races, and I think it's quite interesting. It's also fun to hear the commentators in the past. I think it's really cool. Like, see how things have changed and stuff. I think it's fun. Yeah, literally this weekend, it confuses me, like, so much. Well, this past weekend. What race is next? Sorry. Why don't I know the answer to that question? Brazil. Yes. Okay. I just saw that this morning. It's Brazil. Yeah, like, confusing. The whole day's confusing when it's like different time zones, and I couldn't imagine traveling. Like, could you imagine being on an F1 team or something and having to travel that much and being so messed up, and like, you cannot adjust. Like, they all say they adjust, but how? How? What do you do? Yeah, but does that help? Does anything actually help when you change in a time zone? I mean, I guess some people find things that work for them, but that's always baffled my mind. Like, you're just running on your internal clock, and it's changing constantly. That's why I always think, like, the breaks have to be exhausting. Like, as nice as they are, the first couple of days have to be exhausting for the drivers. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's crazy. I always find it interesting when like drivers are trending on Twitter or whatever as well. Speaking of, yeah. I really wanted there to be some news today or something exciting. Mike Elliott, I'm props to you for resigning, I guess. Like, bruh, don't get me started. I don't know. I feel like this is just, we talked about it a little bit. Like, I just feel like this is a season that, like, I just want news and announcements and, like, things going on. And, like, they're not. Just looking at, trying to, news, please. Please, give me anything. I think that it's been a really boring season. Like, I hate to say it. Like, it just, it's been, literally, like, as terrible as it was for Checo, like, him being out was a miracle. Like, I was like, oh my god. Even though he's not up there with Max, it was like, oh my god. You know? So, like I said, we just wait. We just wait and see. See what happens next year. Also, like, when's the... Hold on. Now I gotta look up the race schedule. Oh, geez. Okay, like, we're really close to the end of the season. I don't know about that. I would hope Hamilton would get it back. But at the same time, like... I mean... As shocking as it was getting disqualified, it could happen again. It could, I mean, things seem to always be happening. But I also don't know if Checo is gonna take second. So I didn't realize Las Vegas is the 19th of November, and then it's Abu Dhabi on the 26th. Didn't realize that. Kind of crazy. Get to sleep in. Checo makes 10 million? Okay, so thank you, internet. They make several $1,000,000 a year. Well, who would have known? Oh yeah, I'm sure every driver has like money from sponsors and their own businesses and things they do on their own. So Max is 55 million. Could you imagine? I know it's how it works when like a driver wins and they consistently win and like, but could you imagine being teammates with someone making 55 million and you're making 10? It's the same thing with like Yuki. Yuki makes 1 million. And that's what Logan makes. Like, could you imagine? I mean, I know it's millions. Like, but that's crazy. Like, I almost think there is. I think you have to make enough because of their ability to find you. But at the same time, again, like I was saying earlier, didn't they just raise that, or are they trying to raise it? So doesn't that minimum have to raise? Like that's the whole problem with it, is that everyone was saying they might not be able to afford it. Like some drivers just can't. Also, let's not talk about the fact that Charles freaking makes 25 million and Carlos makes 12. Like, yeah, but at the same time, that's crazy. Like, I couldn't imagine being the teammate that makes less like that. Also, yeah, like, where's he gonna go? He ain't leaving Ferrari for the rest of his life. I see Carlos maybe leaving, you know? Like, maybe he'll stay for a while, but I don't think he's gonna stay indefinitely. Where is Charles gonna go? Like, and anytime anybody asks him, like, when the team is doing bad, he's like, my heart's with Ferrari. Oh, okay. Okay. Like I said, like, I like Ferrari and I like Charles. Like, don't get me wrong. But, yeah, it's his whole life. Yes. Which, and I mean, he has sentiment that, like, makes him want to be with the team. So I do get it to a certain extent. And, like, that's fine. But, yeah. If you want to win, changes have to be made sometimes. Especially with the fact that, like, Ferrari could have. But again, how many times has everyone said Ferrari could have, would have, should have? Yeah. It's not a... I don't think it's a driver problem either. I think the opportunity and the driving is there. So, yeah. But how long can you sacrifice that team aspect? So... What is gardening leave? Oh. Okay. Just figured out what gardening meant. Sorry, someone tweeted it. I didn't know what it meant. It's their time off. Either they've quit or they've been terminated. Just more about the Mercedes guy. I don't know anymore. Like, who knows? I think we're gonna see the same grid for the next 15 years at this point. Like, yeah, I just didn't know it was called gardening. I thought it was called something else. Like, I nice word choices, I guess. But yeah, so these headphones are so, like, new that they're sliding off my head. No F1 drama, no nothing. What are we gonna do? Oh, apparently someone tweeted Nico Rosberg is coming out of retirement? Question mark? I love that. I love when Twitter, like, posts something and then the driver has to see it. The whole he's not. The whole Oscar situation. Thanks for the lurk. study hard. Class times. I don't know if I have that set up anymore. But the thing the other day with Oscar and like the like whole situation that went down, and all the like funny posts that are like, oh my god, like Oscar waking up and seeing that and being like, it's like, okay, like I think it's really funny. But you know, that comes with making millions, doesn't it? Interesting. Not to talk about this some more, but it seems like the guy who left Mercedes worked as an aerodynamicist for McLaren, a trackside aerodynamicist, the team leader of the aerodynamic performance, then went to Renault, then went to Lotus, then went to Mercedes as head of aerodynamics in 2012, and just started as the chief technical officer in 2023. Interesting. Yeah, so there's like gaps between each team. Lots of gardening time. Such a stupid name for it. Yeah, that's interesting. Someone posted it talking about how he's been involved in all of Lewis Hamilton's titles and stuff, but I don't think that's necessarily the reason they got the titles. Who does? This guy or Lewis? Oh, Nico? He annoys me when he does the interviews. I don't really like anybody doing the interviews. But is he really? Sorry, I gotta look this up real quick. Oh yeah, he got temporarily banned from the paddock. Well, and like, I mean, come on now. International travel at the time. Like, whatever. Like, I don't agree with, like, not getting it, okay? But as someone who is internationally traveling, are you dumb? Like, that's, you're in a whole different world. Like, whole different world. Literally. Like, also, I just want to say that earlier it auto-modded you for saying fail. And most of the time, if you would say something like that, it would auto-mod, and it didn't. I don't understand. I don't know if you were here when I was saying, like, I just started, like, streaming again. So, I don't understand why auto-mod doesn't mod, but does mod, but doesn't mod. So stupid. Wait, just like Lance, like, auto-mod is stupid, or like Lance, like, anti-vaxxer Nico? Did I miss, like, all this, like, drama? Oh, okay. Gosh, there's like, if you like Google like one thing about a driver, like 15 things come up about like people being like reprimanded or, you know, suspended or like, jeez. It's a drama-filled realm as well. That's what we didn't talk about. It's full of drama. There's always something going on. If it's not a girlfriend or a wife, it's something else. It's a breakup. If it's not that, it's someone did this, or someone got this, or someone did this, or who knows? Who knows? Wait, you also forgot to say he took his seat and and his life and everything. That is something I couldn't fathom. I cannot get behind that. I don't care who you are, that's just weird. I know Charles's like whole dating thing is also weird. And like there are things like just pump the brakes. Like stop being so weird. Yeah. He was young. I don't know exactly, but he was younger. I don't know. I don't know. I guess there's a whole perspective like they're making enough money, so I guess they're grown, but you're not grown at 22. So I just don't get why you'd want to have that like responsibility, because you are taking on a responsibility. Like once you're in that kid's life, you're in that kid's life. You don't get to just go away. Say, see you later, bye. Like you're especially when they're young. Like you're not just influencing them at like 15. Like they're young. Like I don't know how old, but like enough that like you're their dad or you're their father figure, they're your male role model, whatever you want to call it, their role model in life, whatever. Like, and you travel all the time, and you're literally never home for more than like 3 weeks, I think, for the summer break, if that, where they normally go on vacation anyway. Like, make it make sense. I don't want kids that young. Mm-mm. I swear he's gonna quit F1 and just sim race. I can see it happening. Like, genuinely. I don't watch any of that stuff. Like, I used to watch sim racing and stuff, but I haven't in a while. But I never watched Max. And, like, I see a lot of things where he does it. I mean, I don't know. You'd expect a driver to go to, like, I don't know, World Endurance or, I don't know, Rally? I don't know, like something different, but it doesn't seem like that. It seems like he's just gonna sim race, which I mean, he has to make extra money from that, like, I see Carlos quitting and doing something with his dad, that's for sure. Didn't they do something together already? I'm pretty sure they did. What is that called? I don't know what it's called. Carlos and Carlos. Extreme E. Oh, that's what it's called. Oh, shocker. That doesn't surprise me. I have a strong feeling, like, well, and that's the thing, like, with Red Bull behind Max, like, he can do whatever he wants. They can work together, they can, like, Anyway, I don't know if I could see Max and his dad doing something like that. But who knows? I mean, at that point, yeah, that's true too. Okay, I need to figure out if I made this up in my head or not. Did Carlos and his dad race together? Did you see Lewis's new drink? Yeah, so Lewis's new drink is non-alcoholic. And well, something that's it's just weird. I mean, it's like blue agave, but it's non-alcoholic. I don't really get the point. I mean, I know some people don't drink, and that's fine. Like, that's their decision. I just don't know why. Like, okay, I don't know why you'd pay $40 for it. Not worth it to me. And apparently it tastes like tequila. Yeah, see, like that's without shipping too. Like, that's US price without shipping. So what does it taste like? What could it taste like? It's not gonna taste like tequila. Like, I get that people can't drink. There are situations where people can't drink, and if that's their option and that's how they want to spend their money, you can do that. But like, at the same time, like, it's the fact that also you're not just paying for the $40. You're paying that and shipping, because they're not going to have it in stores. Onto this, I was looking up Valtteri's gin. The Lewis one? I don't know if you've seen what it's called. Here, I'll type the name in chat. Okay, just kidding. Twitch doesn't want me to do that. It's ALMAVE. Almave? I don't know. I just type it in and put Lewis Hamilton. It comes up. But if you want to see, I don't know if it's that interesting. Valtteri's gin looks interesting though. I didn't know he had a gin. I mean, I saw something about it, but I didn't know it was like... That's interesting. That's really cool, actually. Oh yeah, lounges. It's on the website. Huh, that's really cool. But can you buy it, or do you have to, like... Is it out yet? Oh, it's at bars. Not in the US, unfortunately. You can't just buy it though. It's just at bars, it seems. There's a place called Sexy Tacos in Monaco. Well, you have one place to go in Sweden, and I cannot say it, but it's on the website. Definitely in Finland. Yeah. That's really cool, though. I do think it's interesting when they do this kind of stuff. I like Valtteri. Yeah, that too. I'm trying to think of any other drivers that have done something like it. I think he is a really nice guy. I'm sure he is. I think that of all the drivers, he's the one that like I forget about all the time. But like then I remember and I'm like, oh, you know, he's alright. Like he's a down to earth guy, right? Yeah, for sure. I think so. And that's a whole situational thing because, you know, being teammates with Lewis at the time and like a whole deal. So, that's really cool. Nice chatting. Have a good day. Oh, F1 dive. That's sick. I mean, I think everything's going really well. So, can't be mad about that. I don't know, maybe I stick to Streamlabs because nothing went wrong. So, but yeah, hopefully we can like do this again soon. Hang out for a while, chill. I used to love doing just chatting, but sometimes you like forget what you want to say or like what you want to do or like, and it's just one of those things. Like I'm thinking I want to play a game next time, and I was kind of talking about it earlier, so we'll see. Because just chattings are fun, but you can't do them all the time. But it takes your time up quite quick, and you're like, oh my god, it's been like literally an hour and a half basically. That's crazy. But yeah, so I don't know what I'll do next, and I don't know when, but we'll do something. But yeah, so I'm happy, very much happy. Also, I still have a bunch of stuff to like hash out anyway. Like I literally couldn't figure out how to get Twitch to work, so who knows, we'll see. I don't know. See if we can get it to work. Anyway, good test stream. Good headphones. New place. Yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna go get some lunch. I'll see you all later.